Hi everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey. As promised in the last video, I'm reviewing the other product in Nongshim's Doong Ji Naengmyeon line, this time with the sweet and spicy Gochujang sauce. If this looks a little familiar to my regular viewers, it should. These are the same naengmyeon noodles from the last episode, but served with the sweet and spicy Gochujang sauce that we saw in episode 85 with Nongshim's Guksu Soba. And I really loved this sauce before, and I mostly liked these noodles last time, so this should be a pretty obvious decent score here. Now there's probably no need to rehash any of the information from either of those other two episodes, other than to say that naengmyeon is a cold noodle dish made with these ultra-thin brown noodles you see on the packaging, and gochujang sauce is a sweet and spicy sauce made from red pepper paste and other good stuff. So let's just talk about availability and ingredients. Like the one other naengmyeon variety here in the US, you can find this at Walmart or your local Asian market. This was about $6 on walmart.com and in-store for a 3-pack. A single pack of this is apparently a single serving this time around, according to Nongshim, which is good because that last one actually was a pretty hefty double portion of soup. And the sodium in here is 1,050 milligrams, which isn't terrible at all. And the sugar is kind of high at 20 grams. So that's the sweet in the sweet and spicy part. So inside the package, here's the noodles we saw before, which are made from wheat, buckwheat, and potato starch. We've got the same seasoning flake packet as last time, which was cucumber and radish. And then there's the sweet and spicy gochujang sauce, which according to the ingredients looks to be identical to the sauce that came in the Guksu Soba pack. Now, unlike last time, there's no need to measure out cold water with the sauce, which means this plastic tub is completely useless other than to keep the noodles intact. So I'm just going to go carefully boil these noodles, and I will be right back. All right, and here we go. The noodles and flakes are done. They've been rinsed in cold water and drained. And now we're going to add the sauce and mix everything together. And now to stir. I honestly haven't had this sauce since I reviewed the Guksu Soba, but I love the way it smells. Very much looking forward to this. Now, as you might be able to tell, despite my best efforts, by which I mean I constantly stirred these noodles for the entire 3-minute cooking time, they are still very clumpy. And I guess that's just the nature of these noodles. But it's also making it very difficult to get this sauce into every nook and cranny. All right, I think that's about as good as it's going to get, so let me give this a taste. Okay, let's get to the scoring. These are the same noodles as in the last pack of naengmyeon, which I gave a 7 out of 10. They're firm, but thin. They're a little hard to eat because of how long and slippery they are. And despite the clumping, they have a good chew and a great flavor. And I like them for the most part. Slight textural issues aside with the clumping, they're still a 7 out of 10. As far as spice level goes, this is the same spice level as when I had this with the Guksu Soba, which I gave a 5 out of 10. This is not ridiculously hot, but it is definitely not for the spice averse. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't want something cold and spicy, then this might turn you off just a little bit. And so with all that said, how does this all come together? Very well. Great, honestly. I think I might like these noodles with this sauce just a tiny bit less than I like the Guksu Soba noodles. But for all intents and purposes, this is mostly a tie with that pack. The sauce is a wonderful combination of sweet, spicy, and sour, with notes of flavorful chili pepper, mustard, and apple concentrate. And compared to the chilled beef broth from last time, I think this is a more accessible flavor. And I know from before that it doesn't become quite as one note as you work your way through it like the beef broth did. And the flakes are a little different than they were in the Guksu Soba pack. We've got radish in here instead of cabbage. And here the radish serves the same purpose as a mild crunch that adds to the texture of the bowl. And let's also not forget these cucumbers, which are also nice and crunchy and almost pickled in their flavor and texture. I think some crisp, freshly sliced cucumber would go well with this, but I like the dry cucumber flakes just fine on their own. And so it all comes together with the chewy, thin texture of the noodles and their slightly nutty flavor into a terrific bowl of spicy noodles. I gave the Guksu Soba a 9 out of 10, and I think because the noodles here are just a little bit more difficult to cook and eat, that I have to give this an 8 out of 10 overall. Still, really tasty stuff. So of course I keep comparing this to the Nongshim Guksu Soba because really, if you have the choice between buying one or the other, it comes down to which noodles you want more, the Naengmyeon noodles or the Soba noodles. But if you only spot this one, I don't think you'll be disappointed. The sauce is excellent, the noodles have a unique texture, and the flake packet is a nice inclusion. If you want something during the summer that is both spicy and refreshing, check to see if your local Walmart has this because it's worth a try. So that's it for the Naengmyeon product line. If you try this or the other flavor, let me know what you think. If you know of any other instant Naengmyeon I can get in the USA, I would like to hear about it because I really like the idea behind these recipes. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content, and I hope to see you on the next episode of Noodle Journey.